When did military culture shock hit you hardest? I thought I knew what military life would be like. Movies, video games, stories from my grandfather who served in Vietnam. Boy, was I wrong. Basic training at Paris Island was exactly what I expected. Drill instructors screaming, push-ups until you puke, constant stress. That part made sense. Break you down, build you back up. I got it. The real shock came 6 months later at my first duty station, Marine Corps base in North Carolina. I'm thinking I'll be this hardened warrior, ready for combat, living the brotherhood I'd heard so much about. Instead, I spent my first 3 weeks painting rocks. Not kidding. Actual rocks. White paint, making them look prettier for some general's visit. 8 hours a day, painting geological formations that would just get dirty again. Why are we doing this? I asked my squad leader. Because someone with more stripes than you said so, he replied, continuing to paint his boulder with religious dedication. That was my first lesson. Logic doesn't apply. Orders are orders, no matter how ridiculous they seem. The Corps doesn't owe you explanations. Then came the inventory madness. Every single item in our armory had to be counted, recounted, and signed for. Spent entire days documenting screws, washers, and random pieces of metal nobody could identify. Lost a firing pin spring worth maybe 50 cents. Couldn't leave base for 2 weeks until we found it. Turned the entire building upside down. Finally discovered it stuck to someone's boot magnet. The paperwork was insane. Forms to request forms, signatures to sign documents that authorized other signatures. I needed written permission to get written permission for basic supplies. Wanted to attend a mandatory safety briefing, fill out a form, needed to miss the briefing for duty, different form. Late to the briefing because you were filling out forms, believe it or not, another form. But the real culture shock was the contradictions. Take initiative, they said, then punished anyone who made decisions without explicit approval. Be a leader, while demanding absolute obedience to every minor detail. We'd spend hours rehearsing a simple ceremony until every movement was identical. Grown men practicing how to walk in formation like synchronized swimmers. One person out of step ruins everything. The obsession with appearance was beyond anything I'd imagined. Boot shine inspections where sergeants used magnifying glasses, hair measurements with rulers, uniform violations for having a thread loose on your shirt. Meanwhile, actual important equipment was falling apart. Radios held together with duct tape, vehicles that broke down constantly. But heaven forbid your belt buckle wasn't perfectly aligned. The hierarchy was brutal. Officers treated enlisted like furniture. Senior enlisted treated junior enlisted like garbage. Everyone was desperately trying to avoid being the person who got blamed for something. I watched a corporal get screamed at for 30 minutes because a private under his supervision had dirty fingernails during inspection. Not his own fingernails, someone else's. His crime was not noticing and correcting it beforehand. The social dynamics were weird too. Off duty we were supposed to be friends and brothers. On duty, strict rank structure meant some of those same friends couldn't even make eye contact. Best friend 1 hour, yes sir, no sir the next. The mental switching was exhausting, never knowing which version of your relationship was currently active. Then there were the traditions nobody explained but everyone was expected to know. Mysterious rituals passed down through generations of Marines. Mess with them at your own peril. 6 months in, I finally understood. This wasn't about military efficiency, it was about conditioning. Teaching absolute compliance to authority, no matter how arbitrary or illogical. The painted rocks weren't about beautification. They were about breaking down civilian thinking. Making you accept that your time, your intelligence, your common sense don't matter. Only orders matter. It worked too. After a year, I was painting rocks with the same dedication as everyone else. Not because I believed in it, but because resistance was more exhausting than compliance.